What is going on, guys? It's Suk and I am back with a brand new video on Super Duper Tech. And in today's video I'll be doing a speed test comparison between the Google Pixel and the LG G6. So without any further ado, let's hit the titles. So the first thing which I want to get into talking about is that both of these smartphones are using the Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 quad-core processor. The only differences being that with the Pixel, two of the cores are clocked at 2.15 GHz, whereas on the G6, they are clocked at 2.35 GHz. The other two cores in either of these smartphones are clocked at 1.6 GHz. Also, both of these smartphones have 4GB of RAM and the G6 is running Android 7.0 while the Pixel is running 7.1. So now that we got the topic of the specification out the way, let's get into doing our first speed test, which of course will be the boot up speed test. I am going to speed up this footage as both of these smartphones took a considerable amount of time to boot up. Also, what you guys will notice is the 0.2 GHz processor clock speed advantage which the G6 has over the Pixel will play a factor in the times taken to boot up. With that said, you guys can see that the G6 loaded up with a total time taken of 34 seconds, whereas it took the Pixel an additional 10. So now getting into the RAM and application speed test. Of course, beforehand I did ensure that all applications were closed, and as both smartphones finish opening up the clock, settings and camera applications, you can already see that they are pretty much neck and neck. But as they come to an end of opening up the social media apps, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Snapchat, you can clearly see that the Pixel is starting to pull ahead. And as both of these smartphones get into opening up applications from the third row, being Apple Music, Netflix, YouTube and Uber, you guys can really see how neck and neck this really is. And as these devices get into loading up eBay, Amazon, Wikipedia and Lapsit Pro, you guys can once again see how neck and neck this clearly has become, as both of these devices get into exporting and rendering a 2-second 4K file that was shot at 30 frames per second. And looking at the time remaining on both of these devices to export this file, it looks like the Pixel has around a 10-second advantage over the G6. So as the Pixel has around a 10-second advantage over the G6, it is of course first into opening up its 4 gaming applications: Subway Surfers, Pokemon Go, Injustice 2 and Super Mario Run. So as you guys can see, the Pixel was first to opening and loading up Subway Surfers. But don't count out the G6, as that 10-second advantage which the Pixel had over it has now halved to 5. And as the Pixel gets into loading up Injustice 2, it does so with now approximately a 3-second advantage over the G6. And as you guys can see, when it comes to loading up the final application Super Mario Run, both of these smartphones are pretty much neck and neck. But there can of course be only one winner, as the Pixel finishes its first lap with a total time of 2 minutes and 52 seconds. But less than 3 seconds behind that was the G6, which finished its first lap with a total time of 2 minutes and 55 seconds. So now as both of these devices are onto their second lap, we do get a closer look at how well they perform in terms of RAM management and how well they can keep their application open in the background. Now unfortunately, both of these smartphones had to reload near enough all of their applications, but unfortunately for the G6, it took a bit longer to open up these applications. Now the applications that the Pixel managed to hold in its RAM was eBay, Amazon, Wikipedia, Lapsit Pro, Subway Surfers, Injustice 2, as well as Super Mario Run. Whereas the 6 applications that the G6 managed to hold in its RAM were Uber, Lapsit Pro, Subway Surfers, Pokemon Go, Injustice 2, as well as Super Mario Run. Now of course, a lot of the Pixel's success in terms of managing its RAM and holding applications can be down to the fact that it's made by Google, who make both the software and the hardware. And this very well may have been the leading factor into why the Pixel was able to finish with a total time of 4 minutes 21 seconds, with the final lap taking only 1 minute 28 seconds. But shortly after this, the G6 finishes with a total time of 4 minutes 30 seconds, with its second lap taking around 1 minute 35. So though the Pixel took longer in the boot up test, loading up the applications as well as loading them up from RAM was faster on the Pixel when compared to the G6. And it's for this reason that the Pixel gets the win, as it won 2 out of 3 tests. So then guys, that's been it for today's video. I do hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to smack that like button, and if you are new around here, then why not subscribe? And if you do also want to see what videos I'm currently working on, then by all means go ahead and add me and follow me on my social media. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.